Hi, I'm going to go through this activity, task 31, on geologic time sorting. And you'll notice that I'm keeping it in present mode because you can't do this if you hit present. So you want to keep it like this so you can manipulate the information. So this first slide is the directions. So I'm going to read through this. You could fast forward. I'm going to show you how to kind of line things up on the next slide, but I think hearing this is important too. So if you don't want to take the time to read, just listen to me read through it. So directions for the card sort on the next two slides. It's very difficult for humans to understand geologic time on the scale of thousands, millions, and billions of years. However, it's much easier for humans to understand one calendar year. Scientists often use scale and proportions to better understand large numbers, and that's what you're going to do on the next page. To better understand geologic time, you are going to arrange the cards on the next two pages using the analogy of a calendar year to help you understand the magnitude of geologic time. And we know magnitude means how big it is, right? And then analogy means we're comparing two things that are different, but showing because we're really familiar with one thing, it's going to help us understand another. So you're very familiar with the calendar year. And geologic time is kind of complex, so that will help us understand it better. So do this by dragging and dropping the boxes in the correct chronological order from the oldest to the most recent. So that's what they mean by chronological order, from the oldest to the most recent. Slide 3 is the first half of the time scale, and slide 4 is the second half. See example below. So here's drop and drag. You're going to move these things into the locations, and then it'll look like this. So let's go through that. I'm going to do most of this with you and show you how I would attack the problem. You can use what I'm doing and just copy it, but think about how I'm organizing this. So there's the geologic event, which I'm less familiar with. There's the date, which I kind of know a little about, but I do understand a calendar year really well. So which of these dates would be the beginning of the calendar? So right here, January 1st. So you move that there. So this is the beginning of the calendar year. And then I kind of just want to do the date. So I have this date here, November 27th. I've got November 18th. I've got March. I've got September. So out of these dates, what's going to come after January? And that would be March 21st. And then we have November 27th, 18th, September. So September is going to be next in line. And then 18th, and then the 27th. So these are the dates we're working with. And what that's showing is how long before these things happen in geologic time. So the beginning of the Earth is what I'm looking for. So here it is. Earth is formed. There's the event. And which of these dates? We have 3.5 billion years ago, 540 million years ago, 425 million years ago, 4.55 billion years ago, and 1.2 billion years ago. So number one, which one's the oldest thing? Which one is when the Earth began? And number two is just looking at those billions and millions. We know billions is a lot longer too. So it's between those three. So it's this one here. 4.55 billion years ago. All right, so now we've got these things that happen. So we've got first single-celled, first multi-cell, which I know is more complex. So we start simple and we're going to get more and more complex. First land plants, and then first hard-shelled animals. So I'm thinking the order of complexity is something like this, which would probably be the order of the geologic event. But I'm going to check my work. So if you go down here, it says the following slides include the text you use to complete the Go formative in geologic time. Use it to help you complete the sorting activity. So if you look here, you can see the pictures. Here's the beginning of Earth. Here's the single-celled organism called cyanobacteria that produced oxygen. And then if you look, there's those trilobites, those little ocean hard-shelled creatures. I got a couple of those at school, fossils of those that I would have shown you guys. And then down here we have land plants. So that's the order. And I'm not even going to look at the time. I don't really need to because I'm going to put it in the order of the oldest to the most recent. So it's single-celled, first multicellular organism, like a protist, and then hard-shelled organism in the ocean, and then first land plants. So now let's look at which one of these is oldest. So we've got 2 billions left. So it looks like 3.5 billion, and then the 1.2 billion, and then the 540, and then the 425. So I just put those in order for you. Hopefully when you get to it, you'll be able to remember this. If you look at the time, so January, and then it's not until March on this calendar year where the first single-celled organism came. And then the multicellular is until September, and we're all the way into almost Thanksgiving when the first hard-shelled organism showed up. So all this time is this what we call Precambrian time, early Earth history, when there wasn't a lot of life on the Earth or a lot of diverse kind of life on Earth for a very long time. Pretty interesting. And we didn't figure that out until we started looking at the fossils deep underground or when they came up to the surface. So let's look at slide 2. So I'm going to start with the calendar date. So we've got December 13th, we've got 11:33 p.m., December 31st, December 27th, December 3rd, December 26th. So those are my dates. So the one that's not the most recent, the one furthest back would be December 3rd. You guys can figure out the order there. The next thing is the years ago. So here's 225 million, 66 million, 200,000, and 60 million. So that would be, this is the furthest ago in time. And then now I got to look at complexity. So we've got dinosaurs, first mammals, first modern humans, and first reptiles. So I know the reptiles are a little more complex and they turn into dinosaurs, right? And the dinosaurs are extinct here. So this looks like it's going to be this. So I'd like you guys to finish this off using that logic. And then if you get kind of stuck, look here, help yourself out. You can see the picture of dinosaur. You can read about it a little bit. That should help you. And then you will turn this in. So that is your assignment for today.